Welcome back to the Reload Bench. On my video about the newer version of the AptusWorks adapter that allows you to use a 40mm NATO gas mask filter with a Soviet gas mask, I received two questions in the comment section. I'm going to try to answer those questions in this video. First, let me say that you can screw a 40mm NATO filter into the Soviet gas mask. However, there is a difference, although slight, between the thread pitch of the Soviet filters and the NATO filters. That's where the AptusWorks filter adapter comes in. It actually corrects that difference and allows you to get a good seal so that nothing gets in there. If anything gets around the threads and gets into the mask, it renders the mask's protective properties useless. So you really want to have this filter adapter if this is what you want to do, if you want to use NATO filters with the Soviet mask. The first question I was asked involved doing a filter change while wearing the mask. Would the neoprene seal or gasket that's part of the adapter fall out? And the answer is probably yes. However, the way you do a filter change with this mask using the AptusWorks filter adapter is not to have it on when you're doing the filter change. Now, when I was in the military, when I took NBC training, NBC is Nuclear Biological Chemical Warfare training, I remember them telling us that we had to do filter changes or any changes to our NBC gear in the rear. We didn't do it in a forward area. And we did it in an area that was designated by an NBC officer who had tested the area and declared it safe, decontaminated. That's where we would change out our gear, service our gear, that sort of thing. As a civilian in a bug out scenario, you're not going to have access to that resource. So you're going to have to take your best judgment on whether or not an area is safe. If you're dealing with something that your filter is protecting you from, like tear gas or smoke, and you change out the filter on the move, then you're going to get some of that into the mask and it's going to be unpleasant, but it won't kill you. If you're trying to protect yourself from something more lethal, whether it be in an industrial environment or in a bug out scenario, you really don't want to change out your filter while you're wearing the mask and you're in that environment. So use your best judgment to get yourself to a decontaminated area. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate how to change out the NATO filter on the Soviet mask using the AptusWorks filter adapter. So with the mask off and the filter facing you with the adapter inverted, you're going to remove the filter and adapter as one assembly. The adapter has grooves cut into it all the way around. So with your thumb and forefinger, you can grip those grooves and twist counterclockwise to remove both pieces. Then with the filter facing you, with the adapter still inverted, you can unscrew the filter counterclockwise again. And at that point, you can inspect the neoprene seal. So on this seal, you might not be able to see it too well on camera, but there's a groove worn in the seal. That doesn't mean that the seal is bad. That groove is actually there for me changing out multiple filters, filming these videos and trying out a couple different things. And that groove is there because of differences in the filters. Even though they're a NATO spec, the manufacturers are going to have slight differences and there's going to be slight imperfections in these filters. So that groove is nothing to worry about. So with the adapter facing towards you, there's no chance that the seal will fall out. But if I turn it upside down and shake it, you can see it does fall out. Now, something that you don't need to do is you don't need to flip it over to the other side to wear a groove in the other side. Go ahead and put the flat side back in if you happen to drop it out, and just go ahead and have that groove facing you. So I'll go ahead and take another filter and thread it in clockwise, making a good tight seal. Then I'll grab the mask and I'll thread the filter and adapter as one piece clockwise into the mask and make a good tight seal. That's the way it's intended to be used. The second question I got was with regard to the lifespan of the seal or gasket. And I really don't have any data on that, any durability testing on the seal to see just exactly how many times you can change out a filter before it gets damaged. Eventually it will wear out. As I showed earlier, you can wear a groove in it, but that's not because it's damaged. But when you do a filter change, you can expect to see if there is any damage. If you wanted to have a spare adapter, or even have an adapter for every filter, if you're planning to do a lot of filter changes, then that is an option. But I can tell you that for the videos I've made and all the takes that got deleted, I've done dozens of filter changes using this adapter, and the seal is just fine. So for most bug out scenarios, or for just having it with you in case you needed it, this is probably going to provide you with an acceptable lifespan. If you were to try to use this in an industrial application where you're going to be wearing out filters and doing a lot of filter changes, then you're not going to see as much life out of it. But otherwise, neoprene rubber is fairly durable, so it won't last forever, but my best answer is that I think it'll last long enough for you to get to wherever you're trying to get to, or as long as your supply of filters lasts for, maybe wearing it for an extended period. It's not something where just doing a few filter changes, the seal is no good. It's going to last a while. So hopefully that answers both questions. Thanks for watching.